The Connecticut River is 14 feet over flood stage tonight, and sandbagging crews are working fast and furious to stop the water from doing even more damage. Valuable farmland in Massachusetts is covered with 17 feet of water, and millions of dollars in losses are expected.
Well, we had just a beautiful day today, but any rain in sight for us?
There could be a little rain in our future late tonight or tomorrow. It is sultry out there this evening. It is actually still very warm.
It's comfortable.
Yeah, very nice.
I'm about to be serenaded by a symphony of air conditioners and fans and maybe some tinkling ice cubes out there in the backyard. The sounds of hot weather, and one sure sign that summer is just about upon us is Boris. Tropical storm. Boris.
Oh.
Yeah, he's doing the twist right now in the Pacific off the coast of Mexico, and we want to take a peek at Boris. We've received just a flood of requests. Yeah. People wanting to peek in on Boris, and there he is, just off the coast of Mexico. He doesn't look very impressive, to be quite honest. Tropical storm Boris packing sustained winds of 45 miles an hour, gusts up to 55 miles an hour. He's moving west. One of nature's most dreaded storms is the hurricane. Born over the warm waters of the tropics, clumps of storms can quickly strengthen into swirling weather monsters, packing 100-mile-an-hour winds and 25-foot seas. The hurricane season officially begins tomorrow. Hurricanes are rare in June. They're most likely to come roaring out of the Caribbean in August or September. And according to the National Weather Service and FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, explosive population growth along the Gulf and Atlantic coasts has set the stage for a hurricane disaster of unprecedented proportions. Here's why. 3 out of 4 people living along the coast have never, ever experienced the wrath of a hurricane. The population has increased dramatically in coastal Texas and Florida. According to worried officials, most of these people are totally unprepared to deal with hurricanes. It would take nearly 36 to 48 hours to evacuate the Florida Keys, Fort Myers, or Tampa, but in most cases, hurricane forecasters can only give a 12 to 24-hour warning at best. And therein lies the problem. At the turn of the century, residents of Galveston, Texas were apathetic. There was a warning, a hurricane was on the way. They stayed. 6,000 people drowned. That was at the turn of the century. Again, with this explosive population growth along the Gulf, there is a potential for a hurricane disaster. Luckily, of course, we don't have to worry about that. But it was an interesting bit of weather trivia. Earlier today in our backyard, more trivia, a high of 87 degrees, 10 degrees hotter than Miami. The low this morning, 54, no precipitation. There's your sunrise and sunset. The dew point now becoming noticeable. It's partly cloudy and 75, a southeast wind at 14. The dew point, the measure of the humidity, is up to 59 now. And the barometer, 29.75 and falling. Plenty of swollen thermometers across the nation's midsection, 100 at La Junta, Colorado. Unfortunately for us, the core of this heat is now moving towards the east. Cool air is splashing eastward across the Dakotas. The result, big thunderstorms over the plain states. 4 inches of rain today in Providence, 5 inches in Boston. Skies will finally begin to clear out in New England tomorrow, and that is certainly good news. Here are those thunderstorms that produced half a dozen tornadoes across Nebraska and Kansas earlier this evening. They're forming ahead of this cool front, a surge of cool, clean Canadian air. Some of these storms are severe, but we don't expect any strong storms here for the next few days. Just a definite cooling trend just in time for the weekend. And we'll have all the weather details in just a moment. I find it awfully hard to believe that about 6 months ago, there were 5-foot drifts and wind chills of 65 below zero here in the backyard. I would say the backyard has undergone quite a metamorphosis over the past few months. Here's what tomorrow's map will look like. An eastbound cool front producing a few showers, but clearing out in the afternoon, setting the stage for a pretty nice weekend. The 11 outlook for tonight calls for clear and mild, a chance of some thunder by morning, a low near 60. And then for tomorrow, partly sunny, just a passing thunder shower, most of the day dry, a high near 80. The 11 outlook calls for partly cloudy Saturday and Sunday, a chance of an afternoon shower each day, highs where they should be in the mid-70s. Monday, a mixture of sun and clouds in 76. And that will do it from the buggy backyard this evening. The bugs like it out here almost as much as I do, Paul and Diana.
All right, Paul, thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Well, in the middle of all this